You notice how every couple years or so there would be this one scary game that would like be the standard, like after Slenderman dropped way back when. This nigga's behind me, bro. You would have to search to find a scary game that didn't remind you of it in some way, or like when Five Nights at Freddy's dropped. Then everybody wanted to do some shit involving nights and a hidden story. There was a time Resident Evil had that same impact on the genre, but after seeing the recent trailers, I gotta ask, is Resident Evil 7 really uninspired? Why yes it is. So like and share the video, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'm out. When they first showed Resident Evil 7 at E3, I was really interested. When they said the demo of the game was on PSN, I got hyped. I downloaded the demo just to get my feet wet and get a taste of what's in store. Although it felt like I was playing PT, I still enjoyed my time with it and took it for what it was. A demo that's introducing the tone of the game and showing the setting you're in. Now, while I was playing the game, I was under the impression that the final gameplay itself was going to be, over the shoulder, like how it's been. I thought the reason you were in first person was because you're playing as someone familiar and they wanted to surprise you when the game dropped, or you were playing as somebody who just so happens to be caught up in the madness and is overall irrelevant to the story. So I wrote the whole experience off as a marketing ploy, which for the most part worked. I was interested. But it wasn't until they started putting out actual gameplay trailers and releasing information that I realized that, this is how the game is going to be, first person. People were calling it a Silent Hills clone, but it reminded me more of Outlast, especially with the premise of why you're at the house and with you constantly running and hiding. This is what led me to believe that Resident Evil 7 was uninspired. It felt and reminded me of other games, so much so I lost interest in it completely. Until recently, where I forced myself to take a good look at this title and what it's bringing, all for the sake of this video. I had to think about what made Resident Evil what it was to me. I went back and played some of the older games, starting with Resident Evil 4, and I even took it a step further and played some of the other scary games to compare the differences and what stood out to me. With Outlast, I felt defenseless, but once I realized if I kept moving and stopped worrying about what's behind me, the game became easy. Just like Slenderman, just keep your eyes forward and you're good. The moment you start worrying about what's behind you, the game gets in your head and creates that fear. It's like when you turn off the lights in your house and you start running up the stairs and shit, you feel like something is grabbing at the back of your neck. Resident Evil, on the other hand, put me in a different mind state. I felt vulnerable. I had the ability to protect myself, but I never wanted to be put in that situation. And when I fell in that situation, low ammo, more enemies than I could count, I felt something more real than fear. I felt danger. I felt uneasy every time I got to a new area, especially in Resident Evil 4 when Ashley was tagging along, cause now I gotta watch my ass and look out for her at the same time. I know I'm talking about a video game and I can no way feel harm from it, but Resident Evil did a good job of immersing you into the game in its own way. You can't help but feel that. Not so much Resident Evil 5 or 6, but once I realized all of this, I started looking at the new Resident Evil differently. It wasn't uninspired anymore, it was going back to something we missed. Also, they recently dropped a trailer introducing guns in the game, so that says a lot about what to expect. It's not just about running and hiding anymore, there's enemies, ammo that needs to be saved, herbs, maybe puzzles. The only change I see is the camera view, and honestly, it's refreshing in my opinion because everybody remembers how scared they were every time they opened up a door. You know how it went to first person and then like the door would just creep open? I was low-key scared. I mean, I ain't tough, bruh. Just come out and scare me. That's it. I'm looking forward to this title, but at the same time, I'm holding no expectations. I want to go into this game with a blank mind and come out with something memorable, good or bad. But you might feel different about it, so let me know in the comments below. Like and share this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I'm out.